Right. So we've got reviews down, we've got discussions down. Let's do a book tag, shall we? Right, today we're going to be doing a book tag, and that means we have to go to the big book of book tags. Let's have a look for one that we can do. Okay, so we've done unpopular opinions. What's it? Newbie tag? The Booktube Newbie Tag? I've done this one. I've done this one. Hang on. Yeah, no. I've done this one. I shouldn't have to. It's a different one. Hang on, I'll call you back. Hang on. Booktube Newbie Tag 2.0 by Michael S. So Michael S. Deutsch has made a Booktube Newbie Tag 2.0. Let's do it! Alright, all joking aside, we're gonna do Michael S. Deutsch's Booktube Newbie Tag 2.0. He did tag me in this video, so thank you, Michael, for doing that. I think it's the first time anyone's tagged me in anything, so it warms the cockles of my cold, fat-covered heart. But we're gonna do this now. There's 10 questions available, so we're gonna go and do all of them. 10 available? What am I talking about? Right, so number one. What genres would you like to see discussed more on Booktube? That's a very interesting question, because I think actually genre-wise, there's a good range. Fantasy, sci-fi, thrillers. Actually, thrillers are one that's not talked about so much. Horror books, not necessarily talked about so much. But the problem is it's all YA. I don't know if that can you say that's a problem? I think you can't say that's a problem unless you get thrown out of Booktube, you get your Booktube card taken away or something. But I think, having a look at my shelf there, I think what I would like discussed more would be books for grown-ups. Have you read any of those books for grown-ups? They've got more complex themes and things to analyse, and I think I would like to see those things discussed more, because YA books have all got very similar themes, you see. So books for adults, I think we could discuss more in depth and more thematically. So that's what I'd like to see more of. Books for grown-ups. Number two, what do you feel is the best way to make friends on Booktube? The worst way to make friends on Booktube is to insinuate that books that are YA and below are not for adults, that they're for children or young adults. That's the worst way to make friends, so ignore that. The best way to make friends is to search out people that you have things in common with. Search them out, look for their interesting discussion videos, comment on them, make replies to them. It's like making friends in real life. Have you ever done that? Have you been outside? It's scary out there, I know, but you can do it, and basically it's the same. It's the same as making friends there. You talk to people that you've got things in common with, and you keep talking to them until they're your friend, or at least won't delete you off of Facebook. Number three, what do you enjoy most about making videos? My favourite thing about making videos is coming up with a twist on presenting them. Like at the start of this video, I did a silly thing where I pretended to use this old broken phone to phone a man and complain that I'd already done the newbie tag. I'm sorry if that breaks the mystique for those of you watching at home if you thought that was real. But no, I like coming up with interesting little intro bits and things like that, and just sort of putting a little spin, just something to make you chuckle at the start of videos. I like that sort of creative output rather than just what we're doing now, which is just me talking at my own face on a viewfinder. Number four, what do you least look forward to when you're making videos? The thing that I don't enjoy about making videos is doing it at the right time of day. As you can see now, my lighting's wonderful because my window's there, but we're in the morning. It's 9:21 in the morning at the moment, so I don't always have time to film in the morning because I work like a normal man. So normally I'm working sort of late at night, so that either it's pitch black and I have to use my horrible like orange fluorescent lights that are just above me because I can't afford studio lights, or it's like now when it's summer, it's like the sun is going down through my window, so like the half side of my face looks like I've been vomited on by an angel or something, and it's all bright. So that's the least favourite thing for me when filming videos, is lighting. Bit of a weird one, I know, but that's the truth. What videos other than tags, TBRs, wrap-ups, reviews and recommendations would you like to see more of? That's question 5, by the way. I think I've stopped doing a number somewhere halfway through there. So what video other than tags, TBRs, wrap-ups, reviews and recommendations would you like to see more of? The answer to that is discussions about things in books. Okay? Now you might think that's a bit of an odd thing to say, because aren't all wrap-ups and things discussion of things in books? No, they're not. They're discussions of specific books, specifically the plots of specific books, and whether you sort of give it a thumbs up or not. They're more akin to reviews. So I think what I mean by this is you've got your discussion videos. Discussion videos on Booktube tend to be about the community, which is good. It's fine. Things like, you know, why don't we talk about classics? Why don't we talk about this? Why are we reading too much of this? So on and so on. And that sort of stuff is fine, but I would like to see more in-depth discussions about trends in books that we're seeing, themes and characters that we like, what things are generally done well, and our opinions on those sorts of things. Like, you could do a whole video discussing like why are YA protagonists all the same. Like, for example, like, that's not that was a really fucking cutting example, considering I've been trashing YA a lot in this video already. But it wasn't intended as that. I mean, so you could do a discussion on, you know, your classic YA protagonist and why they exist and how they change. But I don't think people make videos like that, and I don't know why. It's something I would like to see more of. Question number 6. What themes do you want to see more or less of in books? Okay, so that's a very interesting question, actually, because thematically, books are very hard to pin down. What do you want to see more or less of in books? I guess, does he mean themes or does he mean tropes? I think if people might mistake this question as talking about tropes, but what I would like to see more of in books is the theme of redemption. I think redemption arcs are something you don't see a lot of in books anymore. I think it's an odd one, because you see it in films quite a lot. The redemption arc, like a guy goes out of his way to do, like, he tries to do something and he fails, or he's a criminal or something. Like Han Solo, like, for example, is a classic redemption arc in a way, because he's like a scoundrel, pirate, smuggler, whatever, and then by the end of the film, he's the big hero and he's doing the bang bangs at the Death Star, and that's like a rubbish redemption arc, but it is one. And I think that's not something I've read a lot of in literature recently, and it's something I'd like to see more of that. I don't have one for less, because I mean, there's no real themes that annoy me so much. There's tropes that annoy me, but that's not the question, is it? What are your Booktube goals? Number 7, that is. So, what are my Booktube goals? A long time ago, I made a Booktube Newbie Tag. Ironically, that's now deleted because it's been replaced by a different one. But I insinuated I came to Booktube for all the money, and that's not the case. My Booktube goals are not to make loads of money. I think my Booktube goals now stem with more creating the sort of content that I want to see, which is promoting discussions, about books and trends and themes and all that kind of stuff, and going more in depth with stuff. And that's because I've been influenced by more long form criticism, like video essays, and yeah, most of the time they're about video games. Like I'm very I've been very much influenced by that sort of thing, rather than booktubers. Like I watch the big booktubers, especially. Like if I see those videos, I just think like I want to do something so much different than what this is. And I think a lot of people coming into BookTube do the same sort of videos that the big booktubers do, because that's the standard. I guess my BookTube goal is to rock the boat a bit, hopefully not capsize the whole thing whilst I'm at it and drown like a tin can. Number 8. What advice would you give to a booktuber that has just created their channel? Well, obviously, my channel has been around for a while, and I'm a man of high esteem and value around here. So my opinion on this is obviously much sought after. The advice I would give you if you're just starting out on BookTube is to not be afraid to be a bit different. I think there's a channel I want to shout out here that I think is a good example of this. Is Chapter Barbara is the name of the title of the channel. Barbara is obviously the lady that runs it. Now I think what's interesting about her channel is that whilst she does read your sort of YA stuff, she's not been afraid of promoting quite heavily books that are not often talked about on BookTube. She's not afraid to say that she reads those sorts of things, and she's at least she comes across as being very comfortable in her own opinions, and that's cool. So I think the advice I'd give you would be to make the content that you want to make without worrying if it fits in with the other BookTube stuff. I don't know if that's the advice that you're looking for, or whatever, but if you continue to make the content that you want to watch, you will eventually find other people that want to watch it, and you can have those discussions with. So that's my advice, is just do you. Don't try to copy what anyone else does. Oh, and don't use that fucking little plucky music from Ben Sounds. It's called Happy. Happy from Ben Sounds. It's the first hit you get if you Google royalty-free music, and every motherfucker uses it. So stop using Happy from Ben Sounds. Ben Sounds, if you're watching, take your fucking song down. It's fucking annoying, mate. Number 9. What are some qualities and traits you look for when it comes to watching other booktubers? So I sort of already answered that a little bit with my praising of Chapter Barbara, but I think the top qualities that I look for in a new booktuber are a really good sense of humour. Like if I can find someone that's going to make me laugh whilst thinking about books, that's going to be good, because I love a little bit of a goof. And 2 is somebody who is going to share an in-depth opinion on things. Like I don't care if all your opinions on a book can be summed up with that I really liked it or I really didn't like it. But I want to know why, and I think people that are more happy to talk about why are people that I really admire and want to watch more content from, and also people that are willing to put themselves out there, like Michael S. Deutsch, for example, and do the work of creating these discussions and these tags and all of that stuff, and just trying to make the community a better place. Those are the sorts of booktubers I really like to follow. So good job. Number 10, this is the last question, so strap in for a big grand finale. What is a fun fact about you or a hobby besides reading and writing that people on BookTube might not know you have? Well, let me tell you a story. A story about a young man in a Butlins in a swimming pool. The young man is me. I was there with my cousin and my father. And my father, obviously, he wears glasses. He wears them all the time. Without them, he cannot see. And in a swimming pool, you can't wear glasses. So that's just a fun fact if you didn't know that. The crux of this story is during that swimming session, my cousin and myself realised that we were swimming with a blind man, and at that time we formed a genre-defying, amazing rock band called Swimming with a Blind Man. So I was once the lead singer for a mad genre-bending rock band that sung songs about painters that could paint with their feet, and men that were squished climbing Everest, and horses that breathed fire on people. It was a very, very weird time. This is all completely true. I'm not making this up. Swimming with a Blind Man is a thing. Our debut EP called In the Deep End was fucking amazing, and it had songs called Long Faced Beast and Tamale and all this shit. It was hilarious, and is no more. So that's a fun fact about me. I also have occasionally done stand-up comedy, so that's a sort of hobby that you might not have known about. So that's it. Right, thank you very much to Michael S. Deutsch for tagging me in this video. It was quite fun to do. It's always nice to get that newbie feeling all over again. Let's see, for people that I would tag, let's say I would tag Laura from Bookie Laura. I would tag Elizabeth from Elizabeth's Shelf Life. And I would have tagged Kelly from Let Me Take a Shelfie, but Michael already did it and she's already done the video, so I guess I can't do that. So I guess I'll just tag those two people. So Elizabeth from Elizabeth's Shelf Life and Laura from Bookie Laura, do the video. You've been commanded by the Booktube police, and they'll come and take your channel away if you don't. See you later.